Hi, everyone. Thanks so much for joining me today. My name is Meyer. I'm an enterprise customer success manager here at FriendBuy. Over the past several years, I've spent a lot of time working across both paid and organic acquisition, everything from PR and media to search and social to lifecycle and retention marketing, and now referral and loyalty. I've had a front row seat to how customer acquisition has evolved and what's actually driving efficient growth today. And I'm very excited to be sharing some of those insights with you. Before we jump in, just to give a quick sense of who we work with, FriendBuy powers referral and loyalty programs for a wide range of leading brands across e-commerce, retail, subscription, and more. Across those programs, we're seeing billions of dollars in revenue influenced and millions of loyalty members engaged. So everything we talked through today is going to be based on what's actually driving results across these programs. So let's start with the reality that brands are operating in today. Customer acquisition has fundamentally changed. Over the past few years, privacy updates from Apple, Google, things like iOS tracking changes and cookie deprecation have significantly reduced the amount of data marketers like yourselves can rely on. And as a result, the channels that brands have historically depended on, like Meta and Google, are becoming very expensive, less efficient, and a lot harder to scale. So what we've been seeing is acquisition costs being up over 60% in the last 5 years, with only about 25 or 30% of iOS users actively opting into tracking, which is causing conversions efficiencies to continue to decline. So basically, brands are competing harder than ever while spending more money to get the same audience. This creates a really important shift. You can't solely rely on these paid acquisition channels anymore to drive sustainable growth. The brands that are winning right now are focused on something incredibly powerful: their existing customers. Your customers are no longer just buyers, they're your most valuable acquisition channel. So referred customers convert 3 to 5 times higher, and they have a higher lifetime value. They're also more likely to go and refer others themselves. More importantly, they have more influence over their friends' purchasing decisions than any ad that you're spending money on. So what you get is this compounding growth loop. And when you combine referral with loyalty, you're really acquiring customers. You're building an engine that drives acquisition, retention, and revenue over time. So here's what we're going to cover today. First, we'll walk through referral programs that actually convert, and then we'll move into loyalty and what makes these programs stick long term. From there, we'll talk about how the most effective brands are combining these into one growth system. And then we're going to get a sneak peek of how influencer is emerging as the next layer on top of that and driving the new FriendBuy platform. Going through this quickly as a formality, it's our safe harbor note. Some of what we'll cover today includes forward-looking statements about future features and roadmap items. So these are just for informational purposes and they're subject to change. And as always, please know that everything shared today is confidential and proprietary to FriendBuy. We appreciate you keeping it within this audience. Let's dig in. So referral is really the foundation of customer-led growth. And what we're seeing is the most effective referral programs today aren't just passive refer a friend links. They're intentionally designed to drive acquisition, increase lifetime value, and impact retention. So we'll look through a couple examples that show what this looks like in practice. Starting with away travel, this is a really great example of where referral becomes critical. Luggage is a very low frequency purchase item typically. Most customers buy maybe once every 5 to 10, sometimes more years. So for away, they can't rely on repeat purchase to drive business growth. They're also more of a premium brand, so they can't lean on traditional discounting and promotions without eroding their brand position. So the challenge for away and other brands in similar spaces, such as high-end sporting gear like golf clubs, camping gear, high-end mattresses, furniture, or appliances, is that they need a scalable way to acquire new customers efficiently without compromising a brand reputation. What Away implemented is a two-sided referral program where both the advocate and the new customer are rewarded. But the key here is that referral isn't just driving that acquisition of the new customer. Because in their business, referral is one of the only ways that an existing customer can get a discount, it's actually motivating these customers to come back, purchase additional products like accessories, smaller bags, new luggage styles, and more. and really doing double duty with both acquisition and lifetime value. And the results of referral becoming a meaningful acquisition channel, both for driving new customers and also incremental revenue from their existing ones. Instead of relying on a repeat purchase or traditional discounting, they've built a system where customers both bring in new customers and come back themselves. And that's what makes referrals so powerful, is with the right strategy, like any investment account, it's going to compound growth over time. Nuuly takes this a step further in a subscription model. Subscription businesses really live and die by retention. And in Nuuly's case, clothing rental is very discretionary. Customers may pause or cancel depending on the season. So acquisition alone isn't enough. Like with any subscription model, their growth is really dependent on retention. So Nuuly needed a way to keep customers engaged and subscribed over time. The strategy is to tie referral rewards directly to future subscription cycles and actively promote to their subscribers at the right moments. Because, like away, referral is one of the only ways to get a discount on an active subscription. It gives customers a reason to stay engaged and stay subscribed. So now referral isn't just bringing in new subscribers, it's retaining their existing ones. And what you start to see is strong new subscriber acquisition driven by these existing members, but also higher lifetime value and more new customers becoming advocates themselves. So referrals really playing two roles for Nuuly. It's both an acquisition engine and a retention mechanism. And that's a big shift from how a lot of brands will think about referral today. Instead of a set it and forget it offer, it becomes really a key part of the customer life cycle. Beyond these case studies, our brands are leveraging referral in different ways to achieve multiple different goals. So the Peach Truck is a highly seasonal business. They use referral as a growth lever to build demand and scale marketing lists during the off-season to fuel retargeting during their peak periods. Figs leverages our attentive integration to merge referral directly into their lifecycle marketing strategy, using things like a post-purchase SMS to drive sharing and get customers back to site to scale channel revenue. And Tesla, while not a FriendBuy client, is a top leader in the referral space. Tesla transformed referral into a status-driven experience with exclusive rewards, community-driven incentives, without relying on discounts. Some more examples. Tecovas uses a highly strategic boosted offer, creating urgency, impact, and exclusivity to drive accelerated list growth and acquisition ahead of one of the only sales they'll run in a year. Naked and Thriving ran different referral-based programs based on the customer type, subscriber versus one-time purchase. This really tailored the incentive to how users engage and shop the brand, while also pushing to grow their subscription base. And Airbnb, also not one of our brands, is one of the most well-known referral programs out there. Airbnb really shows the power of trust, where referrals convert higher for both guests and hosts. And that's because they're coming from people that you know versus brands just trying to sell you. So wrapping referral and looking ahead, there are a few things that the brands who are just crushing referral in 2026 are doing consistently well. First, they design referral as more than just a set it and forget it acquisition channel. The best programs are incentivizing advocates, making them feel like they're part of the brand, so they want to come back and purchase again, not just refer once maybe and be done. Second, using referral as a retention lever, especially for subscription brands, tying rewards to future purchases give customers a reason to stay engaged and continue their relationship with the brand. Third, these brands are making referral really super easy. The most successful programs are typically mobile first and show up at the right moments, meeting customers where they're at and when they're most likely to engage. So the brands that are going to win referral this year, they're not treating it as a standalone tactic. They're actively optimizing their programs over time, running campaigns, optimizing incentives, identifying who their top advocates and channels are to drive even more impact. We know referral is incredibly powerful for getting customers into the door, but once they're in, what happens? Because if you're not keeping those customers engaged, you're constantly going to be starting from scratch. And that's where loyalty becomes insanely critical. It keeps customers coming back, spending more, and ultimately becoming the people who are going to keep referring others. So let's see what that looks like today. One of the biggest mistakes that we see brands make with loyalty is that they treat it as a passive program. It exists, it runs in the background, customers earn points, but it's not actively driving behavior or fostering that brand loyalty. This is something that Better World Books does incredibly well. They operate in a highly competitive e-commerce space. Customers have endless low-cost alternatives and very little inherent loyalty to one place that they're buying books from. So the challenge wasn't just getting customers to buy once, it's getting them to come back, stay engaged, and choose them over someone that might be cheaper or quicker like Amazon. And more importantly, Better World Books really needed loyalty to actually drive revenue, not just exist in the background as a nice-to-have program. So instead of overcomplicating the program, they focused on something really important: activation. Yes, they have a traditional points-based and tiered structure in place, but what really makes the difference is how they leverage time-based engagement movements like double points days to scale the program. These are very simple to execute, but incredibly effective because they give customers a clear reason to come back and purchase right now, not maybe someday when they need something and having to think of the brand. So instead of loyalty being passive, it becomes something that's actively driving behavior and purchasing decisions in that moment. And the impact of that shift is pretty clear. When you give customers a reason to act now, you see immediate lifts in engagement, purchases, and redemptions. In this case, Better World Books has seen about a 2x increase in both member revenue and redemption when they ran these solo day drivers. But more importantly, we see a bigger point. Loyalty isn't just about long-term retention, it can also be used as a short-term revenue lever. And it's not just about rewarding behavior. It's about creating moments that actually drive the behavior first. So what I want to do is zoom out a little bit because when we look at some of these examples, you start to see that loyalty is continuing to evolve beyond just points for purchase and rewards. Starting with Sephora, Sephora has really set the standard for a great loyalty program. Operating in one of the most competitive retail categories where customers have endless options across brands, retailer, and price points, Sephora is probably one of the most well-known and successful loyalty programs that exists today. But what makes it so effective isn't just the size, it's how they're leveraging loyalty to shape their customers' behavior. Through a tiered status structure, exclusive access, differentiated rewards, they give their customers a reason to spend more to unlock more value. So it's not passive, it's actively driving purchase frequency, spend, and lifetime value. Moving into Lowe's is where we start to see things shift and where loyalty is not just about transactions anymore, it's about engagement. So Lowe's launched their DIY Kids Club, and what it does is really bringing families into stores through in-person experiences, not just purchases. That turns what would normally be a one-time visit when you need something where you're doing a new product or project into an ongoing relationship. And more importantly, they're starting to build brand affinity with the next generation of customers before the buying behavior has even started. So loyalty expands beyond traditional e-commerce into real-world engagement and long-term brand building. And then with Zen, we see where loyalty is going. Zen operates in a very competitive and highly regulated category space where traditional marketing and acquisition channels are very limited. So their loyalty program really has to be a full growth engine. They've built the Zen Reward Store where customers earn points through product purchases and engagement, and then can redeem those points for a wide range of high-value rewards like Blackstone grills, Dyson Airwraps, concert tickets, and more. That level of reward is going to drive a lot of consistent participation and repeat behavior, but what's equally important is how they structured it. Very similar to the receipt scanning feature for FriendBuy, each pack of Zens has a QR code for the user to very easily add their points to their account. And they've put in very strict guardrails to prevent abuse and keep the program scalable, which is also a very critical part of FriendBuy's fraud protection systems. So you get this balance of really high engagement, but also sustainable economics in a reward store model. And when you step back and look at these three examples together, what you start to see is really a clear evolution. Loyalty is moving from being a rewards program to being a behavior driver and a growth system. The common thread being that the best loyalty programs don't just reward customers every time they make a purchase. They're actively shaping and incentivizing that purchase itself. They're influencing when customers buy, how often they engage, and how deeply they stay connected with the brand. So wrapping up loyalty, I wanted to highlight three major shifts that are shaping how programs are working in 2026. Because what we're seeing across all of these brands I've mentioned is that loyalty evolving really beyond the points and discounts into something much more strategic. The first shift being paid loyalty tiers. Brands like Amazon, Prime, REI, Restoration Hardware are flipping traditional models where loyalty was a cost center into a revenue stream where customers pay to be a part of that program. And what that does is it creates a really strong psychological commitment where once someone's paid to join something, they're far more likely to purchase more to justify that membership. So loyalty isn't just retaining customers, it's actively increasing their spend and lifetime value. Secondly, the second shift really around social proof and identity. The most effective loyalty programs today aren't just rewarding customers, they're recognizing them. Brands like Strava, Nike, and Peloton are building communities where customers can compete, track progress, and share achievements publicly. And what that does is two really powerful things. One, it drives engagement through competition and community. But two, it's also turning customers into organic promoters where they're constantly sharing their stats, milestone achievements on digital platforms, generating a massive amount of free visibility and word-of-mouth exposure. Especially in a world where paid acquisition is getting more and more expensive, that kind of organic growth is incredibly valuable to brands. And third, sustainable driven loyalty. Brands like Patagonia, Lululemon, The North Face are rewarding behaviors like recycling, resale, and trade-ins. These don't always look like the traditional loyalty programs that we are used to seeing, but they function as an incredibly strong retention driver. Because instead of replacing older products with newer competitor models, customers are incentivized to come back to the same brand. So loyalty becomes tied to shared values, not just transactions. So the big takeaway here is that the best loyalty programs today aren't just rewarding purchases. They're creating commitment and reinforcing identity to keep customers inside their brand ecosystems. So for brands thinking about loyalty in 2026, the opportunity isn't just to launch a program and give points for purchases. It's really to design one that drives the behavior engagement and long-term growth. So to bring everything together, I want to show what this looks like when brands stop thinking about referral and loyalty as separate programs and start building them into one connected system. Looking at a real-world example here, Pretty Litter is a subscription brand, which means growth isn't just about acquisition. It's retention and lifetime value. But like a lot of brands, they had a challenge. Customers purchase both online and in retail, so a huge portion of their audience is almost invisible to them. At the same time, they need to retain these subscribers and grow without just spending more money and putting more resources into ads. So the real challenge isn't just acquisition, it's how to get more value from the customers they already have. So instead of treating referral and loyalty as separate programs, they connected it into one system. On the loyalty side, they use things like receipt scanning to capture retail purchase and reward for engagement and expanding into other product categories, not just straight transactions. On the referral side, they made sharing incredibly easy through mobile and QR code flows. So you get this loop. Customer purchase, they engage, they earn, they share. Now you're acquiring a new customer, and you can now repeat the loop to retain that customer as well. And that's really a shift where it's not just two programs working in isolation, it's one connected growth engine. And when you connect it this way, the impact continues to compound. We see that loyalty members spend more. Nearly 1 in 5 are also actively referring new customers. And these referred customers continue to convert at a high rate, much higher than most standard ad conversions. So now you're not just driving acquisition, you're improving retention, increasing order value, and lowering CAC at the same time. That's a very powerful integration. And now when you take that a step further, you get something even more interesting, which is what happens when you can identify who your most valuable advocates are. Bathhouse operates in a category where experience and word of mouth is almost everything. Like most brands, they were also facing rising paid acquisition costs, seeing diminishing returns on those efforts, and a constant pressure to have to create new content and be putting that out there. So instead of relying solely on paid, they leaned into something that's much more scalable, and that's their existing customer base. They launched a referral program that made it very easy for customers to share, and more importantly, it made that sharing feel very natural and aligned with the brand. This allowed them to turn customers into an acquisition channel that was highly scalable. It drove very high converting traffic to their locations and scaled that word of mouth in a measurable way to keep people referring. But they didn't just stop at the referral and the acquisition. They layered in loyalty to deepen engagement, not just with purchases, but education, premium service, off-peak visits, and more. So now loyalty isn't just rewarding, it's shaping behavior and driving how and when customers interact with the brand, make appointments, make visits, and book services. And you can see that in how they structured their earning events. They built it really around behaviors that drive engagement, not just visits and transactions. Customers can earn for social engagement, visits, experiences, referrals, creating multiple entry points into the program and keeping those customers consistently engaged over time. And the results really have spoken for themselves. 20% of their new customer acquisition is coming from referral. They've had over 140,000 loyalty members that are active within the program, and these referred customers convert at a 22% conversion rate. And so this isn't just coming from that one channel working, it's coming from the full system working together. But here's the most important insight. Through integrating the referral and loyalty programs, Bathhouse discovered that not all advocates are really equal. They had one single customer generate over $70,000 in referral revenue, with many others driving thousands more each. Which really changes how you think about referral and loyalty completely, because your best influencers sometimes aren't always found and hired externally. They're already existing in your customer base and just waiting to be unlocked. And this is really where everything we've talked about today starts to come together. Referral, loyalty, and now influencer, not as separate programs, but one connected growth system. And that shift is exactly what's driving how we're evolving the FriendBuy platform, bringing these capabilities together so brands can manage the full customer lifecycle in one place. So to bring this to life and show you exactly how this works in practice, I'm going to hand it over to Samantha Brown, our VP of Product, to show you what this looks like in the FriendBuy platform.
Hi, everyone. My name is Sam. I am the VP of Product here at FriendBuy. I'm really excited to talk to you about a new product that we've launched called FriendBuy for Influence. It is in beta and it is running in production today with paying brands driving real revenue. This product was built for brands that already have relationships with creators, ambassadors, athletes, employees, or customers who post about you and you want to turn those relationships into a measurable automated growth channel. Here's what you'll walk away with: how we think about the problem, how to stand up a program very, very quickly, how attribution actually works end to end, what the influencer sees when they log in, and what is coming up on the roadmap that most of our customers are already really excited about. We want to start here because this is why we built this product. You have influencers who are real people, real audiences posting real content about your brand. But behind the scenes, the program lives in a Google Sheet. You're tracking clicks in one place, sales in another, DMing people their share codes. And when payout time rolls around, it is a week of work. One creator wants a gift card, another wants PayPal, 3 of them want Venmo. Every month, your team loses days to reconciliation. And then the real issue, the one that keeps CMOs and CFOs up at night: you cannot actually prove the program is working. You know traffic came in, you think some of it converted, but when finance asks for the ROI on that line item, you're kind of guessing. You can't draw a straight line from an influencer post to $1 of attributed revenue. And the influencer platforms out there do not talk to your e-commerce stack. They do not talk to your referral program. They do not talk to your loyalty program. They are on islands. This is the problem we kept hearing from our customers, and it is exactly what Influencer by FriendBuy was built to solve. So there are 3 design principles that shaped every decision we made about this product. Pillar 1, owned relationships. We help you identify your top customers so you can invite them to join your influencer program. We are in the business of giving you the infrastructure to manage the relationships you already have, whether that is 10 creators or 1,000. Whether you have influencers, creators, affiliates, ambassadors, whatever you call it, if you work with them directly, this product is built for you. Pillar 2, native attribution. Because Influencer by FriendBuy sits on top of the same referral engine that powers our core product. Every click, every conversion, every dollar is tracked natively. Last click attribution model, default 90-day window, configurable by you, no manual reconciliation, no begging finance to just trust the numbers. If the conversion happened and it's in the system, it is in the system and it's tied to the right influencer. Pillar 3, automated payouts. You configure the rules once: commission type, payout cadence, minimum thresholds. The system does the rest every single cycle. Payouts flow through our partner Tremendous, which means the influencer picks their preferred method: ACH, Venmo, direct deposit, PayPal, a gift card, over 100 payout options or redemption options. The influencer gets paid on time in the format that they want under your brand guidelines. So here is the entire workflow end to end in 5 steps. Once you have done step 1, the rest pretty much runs itself. Step 1 is the merchant setup. This is the only real work that you do. You define program rules, what counts as a qualifying purchase, whether it is the first purchase only. You set your commission structure, which could be a percentage or a flat amount. You pick your payout cadence, and you set a minimum payout threshold. Super, super easy. You could probably set this up in like an hour. Step 2 is the influencer invite. This email is completely designed and configured in the FriendBuy platform, leveraging your brand guidelines and style guide, and your brand as the authenticated sender. Step 3 is we generate a link. The moment a creator registers, they get their personalized influencer link. They can see how the commission structure works and pending payouts. And then step 4, incentives are sent. When a referred visitor visits your site, a personalized welcome offer will be displayed once they provide their email and optionally their phone number. That first-party data is then sent to your ESP and SMS platform automatically. Step 5, once the referred visitor makes a purchase, commission is paid out to your influencer on your configured cadence. FriendBuy batches commissions, validates them against returns and cancellations, and then a commission redemption email is sent to the influencer. No spreadsheets, no invoices, no manual work. So zooming in to setup specifically, because this is where most platforms lose you. You pick your commission type, either a flat dollar amount, say $10 per qualified conversion, or a percentage of the referred visitor's purchase. You set your commission value, you pick your payout cadence, you set your minimum threshold for when an influencer can get paid out. For example, they have to earn at least $100 in order for the commission to be paid. Commissions apply for new customers only to start. That last toggle is genuinely important if acquisition is your goal. It prevents commission stacking from existing customers who are going to buy anyway and keeps the program focused on net new revenue. Combined with our attribution window and last click logic, you get acquisition measurement that finance will actually trust. Lastly, every commission gets held for a configurable window before payout. This gives you a buffer to capture returns and cancellations, so you are never paying commission on a refunded order. Next, we built a performance dashboard. Every influencer, every conversion, every dollar in one place in real time. Across the top, we have the KPIs tiles. Total revenue driven by the program, conversion count, average order value, so you can see program health at a glance. We also show you active influencer count, so you know how many creators are generating activity versus sitting dormant. And an active creator is a creator earning a commission. Every tile has a growth indicator comparing to the prior period, and everything filters by day range. Below that, we have the leaderboard. Every active creator ranked by the metrics that matter: clicks, conversions, revenue generated, and commission earned. You can sort by any column. This is where strategy happens. You can see at a glance that Sarah drove $27,000 this period. Now you know to double down on Sarah. Give her early product access, get on a call with her, ask what else she needs. Conversely, if you have creators with high clicks and low conversions, maybe you have a positioning or audience fit problem. You can have an honest conversation, rework the offer, or rotate this influencer out. Beyond the leaderboard, we expose a full analytics layer that rolls up click-through rate, conversion rate, revenue, ROI, and CPA at the program level. This is a fundamentally different relationship with influencer marketing than most brands have. So a quick note on flexibility, because every brand runs their own program differently. You can route influencer traffic to any page, a homepage, a specific product page, or a campaign landing page. You choose what counts as a conversion, and you can layer in a customer-facing incentive, a discount code, or a gift card. And we're talking about these referred visitors who click on influencer links. That is configured completely independently from the influencer commissioned. One brand, Bathhouse, routes all influencer links directly to their Day Pass product page. Every single post drives attribution tracked conversions. No guesswork. Also, FriendBuy powers 2 emails. An invite email that goes out when a creator has been invited to the program. You can include the benefits of joining the program and include a link to register, making it really, really easy. The creator will then land on a fully branded, FriendBuy hosted onboarding flow. Next, FriendBuy sends a payout email, which is sent when an influencer's commission is ready to be redeemed, so they can see your brand in the inbox and a direct link to choose how they want to get paid. You can completely customize branding, logo, colors, subject lines, copy, send from name, all of that. So now let me flip to the other side of the product, the influencer experience. A confused creator is a creator who does not post. Clarity equals activity, and activity equals revenue. So 4 things every creator sees the moment they log in. Number 1, their unique referral URL, branded to your domain, one click to copy, and shareable across any channel. 2, their commission rate, spelled out in plain English. No ambiguity about what they're earning. 3, their pending earnings, a real-time view of what is in the validation window and what has cleared. Number 4, their paid to date total. That cumulative number is what builds trust and motivation. When a creator sees that they've earned $1,500 lifetime, they post more. It is human psychology. So let me close with what's next. We are building in the open on this product, and the 4 things on this slide are all direct responses to what our customers have asked for. In Q2, we're releasing channel level attribution. Right now, you know a creator drove revenue. Soon you'll know whether it came from Instagram stories, TikTok, or a reel. That changes how you brief creators and how you allocate spend. Second, segment-based commissions and rewards. This lets you set different rates for different creator tiers automatically. Micro influencers at one rate, macro influencers at another, VIP creators at a third, no spreadsheet maintenance. In Q3, more releases. UTM tracking that plugs directly into GA4 or whatever attribution stack you live in. Everything creators, drive flows, into your broader marketing attribution model without manual setup. And then SKU level commissions, which I mentioned earlier. If you have a hero product where margins are tight or a new launch you want creators laser focused on, you can pay different rates per SKU. This one is particularly big for beauty, CPG, and fashion brands. A few things we're also working on beyond the slide: a performance-based commission tiers, so bulk operations in the influencers tab for brands with hundreds of creators. And on the influencer side, we're continuing to invest in the portal experience because that is where activity gets driven. Before we wrap, if there's one thing to take away, it's this: your influencer program shouldn't be a black box. It should be a measurable, repeatable growth channel. That's exactly what we help brands do: turn existing relationships into something scalable, trackable, and actually tied to revenue. If you want to see what that looks like for your brand, you can scan the QR code here and book time with our team. Thank you all so much for joining today. We really, really appreciate it.